O Zoom conversou com o prestigiado treinador de roteiristas, o também diretor, Robert Mckee. Ele veio ao Brasil para dar um workshop sobre criação narrativa no roteiro, promovido pela Delarte e Quinofórum. Professor de narrativa criativa na Escola de Cinema e Televisão da Universidade do Sul da Califórnia e autor do best-seller Story, Substância, Estrutura, Estilo e os Princípios da Escrita de Roteiros, tem uma visão bem polêmica dos roteiros cinematográficos atuais. Em 2006, Robert disse numa entrevista: a televisão irá dominar o futuro da narrativa, mais livre e ousada, dominada por escritores, produtores e tecnicamente impecável, baterá o cinema na arte de criar ilusões e contar grandes histórias. Agora no Zoom, as ideias criativas de Robert Mckee. Which are the differences between script for TV and script for film?
There's a lot of differences because there's so many varieties of television writing. And so the writer then has to concern themselves with what we call the hook. You need a hook just before the commercial to raise a question in the audience's mind, or take a certain action and cut it in half so that they start the car chase before the commercial, they finish the car chase after the commercial. So you have to be concerned with those breaks, and you don't have this problem when you're writing in cinema. Also in cinema you have no problem with grabbing the audience's interest immediately because they've paid money and they're sitting down. And so they'll give you 15, 20 minutes, half an hour before the story really has to start. And so television writing is technically more difficult because you have breaks, you have commercials, you have hooks for the night, you have perhaps long episodes, long stories with many episodes, whereas writing for the cinema is a closed story in a certain limited amount of time. You don't have to be in a hurry to grab the audience. Cinema is a little more leisurely.
Which kind of risks does a writer need to take when developing a story?
The risk is you will never make any money. It takes about 10 years and 10 hard years of 10 or 12 stories before you really master the art form and you finally create something that is of real quality. And so you could spend 10 years of your life, screenplay after screenplay, novel after novel, until finally you realize you don't have any talent. And you will never make it. And that's an enormous risk.
And what tips do you give for those who are starting their career?
Don't quit. As I said, it's going to take 10 years. If you give up, if you write a screenplay or a novel, your first one, and it's not produced, it's not published, and then you quit, well, you were never going to make it anyway. Because people who achieve, who become artists and professionals, are people who never give up. A writer isn't somebody with a story, one story to tell. A writer is somebody with story after story after story. Those who will survive and become real artists and professionals at the art, they've got to have the discipline and the willpower. You have to have talent. You have to have creative talent to write. You have to have wonderful insight into life to write. You have to have great imagination. But above all, you have to have willpower. There's a theory that I believe in, that for talented people, the story is already written. And your problem is to get out of its way. Your problem is to let your talent work and work well and not inhibit it, and improvise constantly, try this and that, in order to let the story that's already in you out. Now, many people think, no, it's the other way around, that the story comes from outside and inspires you, right? But I don't think so. I think for artists create things. I think the things that they're going to create are already in them, and they just need a stimulus, a reason. As I said, writing when you don't feel like writing. Those days when you really don't want to, you have to force yourself, those are usually your best days. The days where you can't wait to write, and you get up in the morning, you're all excited, whatever, usually write pablum. Right? And so I don't really believe that that inspiration is the key. I think hard work is the key. I think exploration, improvisation is what a writer does.
And does a good script makes a good movie?
Yes. A good script makes a good movie with a competent director. Good script, good cast, good director, good movie. But a good script with a master director and a great cast may be great film. I mean, the difference between good and great in cinema